And of course, I think what makes this quite complex, but also that's the kind of the fun in it, is that we have these local market requirements. So it would be wonderful if, every country in the world had chosen the same way to do this. And that would make our lives a lot easier, and yours too. But that's not the case. And so each country, they kind of have their own flavor of how they choose to do things. So whether it's a post-audit country or a CTC country, they each can have their own kind of structures and flows and formats and so forth. And that's something that we're going to be going to in a bit more detail in Belgium, France, and Poland as well.
And Gustav, just to jump again on that, we see now this chemical test tube. So basically I can combine those elements in one, but why I cannot just do e-invoicing? Why is it wise to combine it? For example, with EDI, what we see here, do you have any good explanation for our audience?
Yeah, it's a good question because I think that e-invoicing, it gets a lot of attention because you have this kind of government-driven aspect to it. So there's a lot of mandates which basically forces companies to start looking at e-invoicing because they have no other choice. They have to be compliant. But the entire EDI business, it doesn't come from a kind of a compliance-driven place. It comes from a business efficiency place. And so companies have just realized that if they're sending a lot of information and data between different partners, then it makes sense to do that in a structured and automated way. That's just a way to cut out a lot of the friction in those interactions. So if you are looking at doing e-invoicing from a compliance perspective, then you should also be looking at doing EDI from a kind of a business value and efficiency perspective. And that's where it can be really good to have one provider that can kind of link the two. And so you don't have to have different providers for different functions. But having said all this, I mean, this is a transition from 2015 to 2020. But if we take a step ahead, then you can see that this is the prediction for 2030. So we're looking at pretty much global coverage here in terms of CTC models. And it's estimated that around 90% of organizations will adopt e-invoicing in the near future. So that's a little bit of the background, a bit of context. But let's jump into the more kind of country specifics here. I will start off with Belgium because Belgium is what we call a post-audit country. So they haven't involved the tax authority yet in the process. And I say yet because they are looking to implement this down the line. But starting with what they are looking to implement is as of the 1st of January next year, so 2026, they want to introduce a structured e-invoicing for all domestic B2B transactions. So that's important to say that any of these mandates, they will only apply to the tax registered entities inside that country. So just to say that. And in Belgium, the requirement itself is that the government is recommending the use of PEPL. And the PEPL is both a network, so a channel for how you can send invoices, as well as a format, so the structure that the invoice should be sent in. And that is basically what the mandate is focusing on, that all companies inside of Belgium should be using the PEPL channel, as well as the PEPL BIS 3.0 format. I just want to add that that two trading partners can make a decision to use a different format and channel if they have kind of a bilateral agreement to do so. But everyone inside of the Belgian mandates, they must be able to send and receive using PEPL. So that's definitely going to be the primary method here.